All right, everyone. Pavel Durov of Telegram has been jailed in France. Link in the description, archived, of course, if you want to read more about this particular disturbing event. Supposedly, it's related to illegal content on Telegram. Now, I can't vouch for whether there is or not because I've never used the platform. I attempted to sign up for it like several years ago. I couldn't get it to work. And it never sent me an email notification, including to the spam box. Don't worry, I checked that. Or anything like that. Or a phone verification code or whatever the fuck it was. And I attempted to contact him because I was trying to make an account because there were impersonators on there. There probably still are. To be clear, I don't use Telegram. I never got a response. I could never communicate with them, so I don't use the site. That being said, the jailing of Durov has raised some eyebrows here. Even the left is raising its eyebrows at the moment. There's a spiked article actually about it, about the chilling effect it could have on free speech. In France, illegal content could be criticism of a government figure. It could be literally anything. I think they brought up child trafficking or something like that. I would point out there have been instances where people have live streamed literal torture and murders on Facebook. There have been instances where people are posting all sorts of zany shit on Twitter. Now it's X. YouTube has a problem with wall-to-wall spam and crazy shit like that, and you can find all your death threats and doxing. It's all over the internet. The fact that, therefore, Durov was singled out by the EU for this treatment makes him the new Ross Ulbricht. It's sort of like when the U.S. government went after Ross Ulbricht, the Silk Road founder, who Trump vows that he will commute the sentence of if elected as soon as possible, which I support. Ross Ulbricht was held accountable for creating a site on which illegal things were being sold, mainly drugs, Silk Road founder. Through Tor and shit like that. I've never used Tor either because I never really had an interest in the dark web. Also probably couldn't figure it out anyway because I'm a tech Luddite. But Durov is now like Ulbricht. He was singled out, probably for not towing the line. This may have something to do with the fact that Russians are using Telegram to communicate with one another on the battlefield. I'm just saying that it's awfully coincidental. Every time somebody is making money or facilitating something outside of the Western sphere, they get persecuted. Now, when this happens in the East Bloc, of course, the Western world complains about it. So let's say, for example, somebody in China has set up a website for communications purposes, and they're skirting the Chinese government censorship with end-to-end encryption and all these things, and they probably get jailed. And the West condemns it and says, well, that shouldn't be happening. Oh, free speech is a wonderful gift to the world. Free expression is the bedrock of human society. But then when the French do it, Europe has become specifically pernicious in leaning on especially American tech sites. Now they've jailed Durov. Then nobody says anything. DC is silent. Personally, if I were the President of the United States, I would condemn this immediately and say, I want to see the paperwork that led you to arrest him, and call for free speech. The United States should be spreading guns and freedom around the world, and not by bombing people, but by airdropping crates of AR-15s and shit like that. And leaflets saying, speak your mind. Yeah, your government might jail you, but they can't jail you all because then there's no functional economy. We should be doing that. So it looks like a condemnable situation. Again, I don't know what's on Telegram. I can't use it. I tried several times. If I have one bitch about the fucking website, it's mainly that it, for me at least, it's non-functional. I've got people impersonating me on there. Can't even make my own account so that I can say, hey, this is my only official account. There was a segment on Gutfeld earlier, actually. I don't generally watch Fox, but when I'm out on the breeze, my mom watches it. And there was a segment where some of the co-hosts were complaining about, especially AI and deepfakes being used to do, robocalls and stuff. And it's being exploited by people to, hoodwink people out of money. The person will pretend to be a celebrity, and it's like, here, buy my tickets here. I've specially selected you to buy my ticket to my next concert. And I'm giving you a discount. Normally it's like $500. You can get it for $19.99. And some people are falling for these scams. It's a big problem. Impersonation and shit like that. I've got so many people across the web that have impersonated me over time. And I'm just thinking, like, I've got 500,000 YouTube subscribers. Okay. I'm a big content creator. But can you imagine if you're PewDiePie? Can you imagine how many angry fans contact you, possibly on Telegram, ironically enough, over that? Oh, you scammed me. I've never even met you. What are you talking about? It's a big problem. I've had a couple people actually complain to me about that before. I'm like, look, that is not me. Thankfully, it only happens on a limited basis because I'm a little more under the radar than somebody who has like 100 million followers. So Durov is now being given the Ross Ulbricht treatment. He will presumptively be gulagged, and Telegram will be short of a leader for a while, or possibly forever. The United States probably won't pressure France to give its homework notes and justify the situation. And it probably has to do with Russian battlefield communication. I don't think that look, if the Western world were really concerned about child welfare and drug trafficking and things like that, you'd have more secure borders, the Epstein client list would have been released, etc., etc., etc. Trust me when I say I don't trust them, therefore, when they act all high and mighty with regards to an issue like this. Sure, I'm sure people use Telegram for communications of a negative manner. They also are using it to organize protests, I'm sure, and the Russians are using it as a form of communication. This is probably the reason why Durov has been in prison, and so it looks condemnable to me. Now, jury's still out. We'll see what information that they actually have forthcoming, but that's what it looks like on the nose. That's about all. Peace out.